Hello, welcome to Self Care Sunday um, on Wednesday. Let me just get situated here quickly. Okay, I think everything's set. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope your week is going well. I am, this is ginger turmeric shots. It's not, it's very orange, isn't it? It doesn't even, maybe it looks like orange juice, but yeah, ginger turmeric. It's super spicy and yummy. Oh, it's so good if you want to learn how to do that. Um, Join me in my other plant-based cooking group if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I'm going to be making it in there. Um, I am starting off a little slow today. I have like major sinus issues. So I had like a crazy headache this morning and I'm starting to feel better. Like, you know how when you have like a headache hangover? That's kind of how I feel right now. So I'm a little like sleepy almost. I didn't do my workout. I'm like feeling a little weird. So maybe this will help. Mm. So today I'm starting a new series. So first off, I just want to talk about the group and how I'm starting to go live on Wednesdays. So this is a new thing that I'm trying because I don't normally, Sunday is not a work day for me. So a lot of times I don't like, I'll make plans and it's really hard for me to squeeze in self-care Sunday, and I don't want it to feel like a chore because I really like doing it. Oh, the sun's coming in like weird right now. Did you see that? What was that? That was so weird. Oh, look. Ooh. It's just like peeking through the clouds right now. Oh, there it goes. It's gone. Okay. That was fun. Anyway, um, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are my main work days. I do some calls on Mondays. So, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday are definitely days off. So I want to start doing it on Wednesday. And in order to like tie all parts of my business in, I'm probably going to start calling this group Soul Aligned Self Care. It changes nothing. I'm just changing the name. That is the name of my blog. That's going to be, I should say, the new name of my blog because I'm changing everything so it's kind of like all aligned, hence the name Soul Aligned. I have too much light on my face. My face is almost disappearing, but I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? It's okay. I don't know where else to go. I like sitting in front of the window. I have like this big window in my home, and I just love sitting in front of it. It's my favorite window. I get to see all the mountains. It's just really pretty. So anyway, I'm going to probably change the name of the group to Soul Line Self Care. Nothing is going to change except I'm doing the lives on Wednesdays instead of Sundays, which I don't believe is a really big deal because most people watch the replays and most people watch it on YouTube, I think. So I really feel like now is the time to do it when the group is small and there's not a ton of people coming on live and stuff like that. So Soul Aligned Self Care. So if you see the name or the banner changed in the group, um, you'll know why. That's probably why. And I'll probably take a new picture. I get a lot of comments on the picture on the group cover because a lot of people say I look really like emo and it's supposed to be self care. So I was like, all right, I'll change it. But at some point, I don't know when. I'm getting new pictures taken in October, so maybe then, if I like the pictures, I'll change it. So that's what's going on. So everything's going to be soul aligned self care. Okay, it's not the name of my business. The name of my business is Tina Stinson Wellness, but the group is going to be soul aligned self care. I'm probably going to combine it with another group that I run, which is called the Empowered Woman, because it's basically the same content. And I'm going to put it into one group and see if everybody wants to join together. They can if they want. Or I know some of you are probably already in that group. And then my podcast is called Soul Aligned Self Care. If you haven't listened to it yet, you should check it out. I usually just cover the same topics, but it's different. Like I go deeper in the deeper, I write the blog post and then I go deeper when I do the live and then I go even deeper when I do the podcast. So it's different and it just really depends on what you like consuming. Do you like to read? Do you like to watch the video? Or do you like to just listen to a podcast? So what I'm going to do with my newsletter, if you're on my email list, is I'm going to kind of combine most of that into one newsletter. so that I'm not constantly emailing you. I feel like I'm always emailing my list. Um, it's most of the time it's free content, so I feel like my mentality is, oh, people shouldn't mind. I'm not like promoting myself too much, I don't think. Um, but really, what it is just like I don't know about you, but I get like a lot of emails, and it just falls to the side. Like if it's not super important, I delete them, and it doesn't mean I don't like the person or I don't love their work. I just like I don't have time for a lot of bullshit. So I don't want to give you a lot of bullshit. So I'm just gonna combine everything down into um, a newsletter, which I'm starting to create today. I'm going to try to get it out today too. I want it to be released on Wednesdays. Um, but I really want it to look really nice and I want it to be easy to consume for you guys. So it's either going to be today or tomorrow. I'm trying to get it finished or late today, probably. And then I'll send out another email when I do the podcast because I kind of want to try to build the podcast. So if you know anyone who's really into like this type of self care and also like goal setting and mindset work, definitely share the podcast with them when you get a chance because trying to build it. And um, the more downloads I get, the more people that see it. If you do like a testimonial or whatever you call it, it's not called a testimonial, but you know what I mean. More people will see it. So I've been trying to like promote that as well. So I'm going to be just changing the name. The content's going to be the same. I'm covering that deep level self care and the mindset work still. And today I'm starting a new series. So I'm going to get to that. And it's called the Get Unstuck series because I couldn't come up with a better freaking name. And it gets to the point. It's exactly what I want to be able to help you with. I have a lot of clients and a lot of people coming to me with the same problem for different reasons. It's the same stuckness or feeling like uninspired, or I'm trying to think of other words that have been given to me for this feeling or feeling like there's nothing left in life and feeling like a little bit sad about that. And so this Get Unstuck series is basically for all of those people who are having those feelings right now, who really want to get in touch with their soul aligned core values. And that is one of the biggest steps to getting unstuck is to really figure out what your values are. And a lot of us over the past couple of years, with a lot of what's been presented to us in the world around us has been kind of stressful. We've really taken a step back and started to really say, oh my God, what really matters to me? What's important? And so that's what this series is about. It's really about taking a step back and really deciding what your values are and how you want to move forward. And it's about knowing that you're allowed to dream big and you're allowed to have these big dreams. I don't care if you're, 18 or 90. It doesn't stop. It's not over until it's over is what I'm trying to say. Like there's nothing wrong, and I've talked to people in their 70s and in their 80s that still have big freaking dreams. And that's human nature. We always want to have more, be better, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the way it should be. And so if you're not feeling inspired and you don't have new dreams and big dreams and or you feel like you're not allowed to have that, then this series will be for you. Like aligned with that, right next to that, I have this free workshop I'm doing I think it's next week. Yeah, I think it's next Wednesday. I think I have about 4 or 5 people in it. I really don't want it to get too big. I mean, it definitely could be really valuable still with 10 people in there. So definitely jump on it if you're interested, where I'm going to really work with you closely in defining your starting point, what I'm talking about today, and getting those core values in line. Wow, lit up now. There's the sun again. It's like reflecting kind of. It's really cool. So if you're interested in getting some like kind of one-on-one time with me, sign up for that workshop. I'll put the link below when I'm done for sure. It'll also be in the newsletter. Also, definitely be in the newsletter. So I'm going to get started with today's topic, which is going to be acknowledging your starting point, kind of the point that I really want to make with you guys. And like I said, this is also going to be a part of the blog post that I wrote. You'll get an email with that. and the podcast that's released on Friday too. Um, Acknowledging your starting point is so important, and this is the first step because you need to know where you're at right now. And a lot of us aren't really paying attention to that because we're so busy, we're overworked, we're stressed out, we're on that like hamster wheel of life is what I call it. So you're going, you're going, you're going, you're going, you're going. So you just don't know where the fuck you are. You're just like, oh my God, yeah, I think this is where I am. But until you like slow down and like tune in with yourself, you're not really going to know exactly where you are. And so that's what today is about. So let me just take a sip here. That's exactly how I do shots too. So this is a ginger turmeric shot in like a wine glass, so to speak. But I don't like to do shots. So if someone gives me a shot, I just sip on it. I cannot do shots. Not my thing. Okay. So just like when you're driving, if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my notes because I want to try to stay on track. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. Just like when you're driving, you have to know, and you're trying to get somewhere you've never gone before, right? So I hope that's where we're going, like in your life. I hope that you have big dreams and it's someplace you've never been before, and it's exciting. But in order to get there, you need your starting point, right? Because if you're going to put your destination in the GPS, you need to know what your starting point is. So I'm going to go through a series of questions. We're going to do an assessment, and then I'm going to give you a couple of questions so you could start off writing your core values. I start off every program with this. I start off every private coaching session with this, even with past clients who have done it before, because this tool, um, and if you're in any of my paid programs, you have this tool, you own this tool. So I'm not actually giving you the worksheet today. I'm just going to go over it quickly with you. Um, but this tool is really something you could use weekly, monthly, quarterly to really recenter yourself and see where you're at. And so this assessment, I call it a balance sheet, but basically it's a self-care assessment just to see where you're at in every area of your life. And then we're going to move forward from that. So um, we're also going to acknowledge that starting point and kind of celebrate because um, what are we celebrating? We're celebrating the fact that you're making the decision today. And I'm going to repeat that word decision because if you don't make the decision that you really want to change, so if you're feeling stuck, and you're like, oh, I can't stand it, I'm so miserable, blah 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 blah. You know, you're not a tree. You know the saying, you're not a tree. If you don't like where you are, get up and freaking move, right? It's easier said than done, but by doing this assessment today and by participating in this live or listening to the podcast or doing the workshop with me, you should celebrate because you're making that decision to change things. You're like, I don't like where I'm at right now. It's not fantastic. I'm kind of bored, stuck, uninspired, whatever it might be, right? You're making the decision that you want something different. In order to create something different in your life, you have to do something different. You can't just do the same things. You have to do something different. And a lot of times, in order to create something magnificent or something fantastic or exciting, you really have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. So if doing this assessment or even joining me in the workshop with maybe 10 other people would be uncomfortable to you, maybe that's exactly what you need to do because that's how you change things in your life. Usually when you're in a place of stuck energy, the only type of energy that is going to release you from that stuckness is like a powerful energy. It has to be something powerful. So it could be changing your environment, like improving your environment, improving the people that are around you to positive people, removing negative things in your life, negative people, negative things that you might be consuming. These could be very powerful steps. Wait, I just lost my notes. Hold on a second. And let me just find them. Sorry. All right. There it is. Okay. All right. Wait. All right. There we go. Okay. Sorry. I don't necessarily need the notes, but it kind of keeps me on track so I don't babble. I can definitely babble. And I don't want to, like I said, I want to try to keep these lives consumable, which would be like 30 minutes or so, unless I'm doing a master class, which would be like an hour. Okay, so what I want to emphasize before we do this balance assessment, so get a piece of paper and a pen, or you could watch this through and then just rewatch it to do the assessment because I'm going to keep this up here. So what I would suggest is it's not a judgment of yourself. Also, I'm not going to ask you for your results and nobody's going to know about this. So it's about complete honesty. So whatever that first intuitive hit you get, when I say one area of your life, and I'm going to tell you to rate it, whatever that first number that pops into your head is, go with it. And I'm going to move through it quick, so you're not going to have time to think about it. And I'm doing that purposely because if I give you time to think about it, that's when your ego mind comes in and starts saying, yeah, but I do this, and oh, but yeah, I have this, blah, blah, blah. What's your instinctual reaction to each area of your life? And sorry, I'm just getting notifications. I don't know if you could hear that, but I'm sorry if you can. So we'll go through the assessment. This is not you like beating yourself up. Be completely honest. And, um, nobody else is going to know about this. This isn't about how your parents would judge you, your friends would judge me, your coworkers would judge you. Um, this isn't about how your partner would judge you or any other person in your life would judge you. This is you tuning in to yourself. Like really, just like take a few minutes to tune in. We'll do a little breathing exercise before we start, and being really honest with yourself because it's just like a GPS. If you put the wrong address in, you might get a little lost, right? So we need to like put the right address in. So we're just like tuning into this, and then we're gonna be like, yes, fuck yeah, this is my starting point. Look at that weird light going across my face. It's so weird. Um, okay, that's better. Woof. When the sun comes out, it's like really like shining on me. All right, so let's get started, right? You got a pen, paper, and then after we do the assessment, I'm going to tell you how to like use it. And so this is like super easy. You could just write this. You could go through this video and just write this down. You don't need my worksheet. I would love to have you as a private client or in one of my programs. I would fucking love it. But you don't need to like be in my program to do this. This is like one of the easiest things that you could do. And so I really encourage you to save this and do it every check in with yourself. If you're feeling really shitty and unbalanced and just out of sorts, this is something you could do weekly to check in with yourself. The more you check in with yourself, the more aligned you'll be with yourself. And the more aligned you are with yourself, the more your life will flow. It's a fact. It's a total fact. Mm. Okay, let's get started. Oh, that was spicy. Woo! Okay, spicy ginger. Who likes ginger? I freaking love ginger. I freaking love it. Okay. I don't know why I can't see comments right now, so I don't even know if anyone's here. I don't know if anyone's commenting. I don't know what's going on. So I'm sorry if you comment, I'm not going to see it. Okay. So we're going to go through, how many do I have? Because I added some. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay, there's 12. I think there was 10, but I kind of changed the relationship category a little bit. Okay, so there's 12 different categories. What you're going to do is you're going to rate yourself from 1 to 10, 1 meaning super shitty and 10 being absolutely fantastic, okay? So like I said, whatever's instinctual, that's what you're going to write, okay? So we're going to go through this right now. Okay, ready? Okay, health. In the area of health, how do you grade yourself? Next comes fitness. After that comes home environment. Home environment means how you feel in your home. Are you comfortable? Do you feel safe? Are you living with a positive people? That's your home environment. Next, self-care. After that comes romantic relationships, so your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. After that comes family relationships. And then after that comes friends. Your social life. Your money. Your career. Your self-improvement. And lastly, your spirituality. Spirituality. That kind of came out weird, didn't it? Okay. So you should have all your numbers right now if you didn't overthink it. If you need to rewatch this, then that's fine. But like I said, don't overthink it. Just go through it with me very quickly. So now that you have all your numbers, what I want you to do is take the pen or pencil, and I want you to circle everything that is five or below. 5 or below, okay? Now, if you didn't score 5 or below in any of these areas, that's freaking fantastic. I just want you to pick your lowest 3, okay? And if you scored everything as 5 or below, then I want you to pick your lowest 3, okay? So initially, circle everything that's 5 or below. If everything is above 5, circle your 3 lowest scores. And then if everything is below 5, circle your 3 lowest scores. So overall, it's really like circling your 3 lowest scores. So what I see most of the time in this assessment is there's usually like at least 3 or 4 areas that's out of balance. So if you're not, which I consider like 5 or below, I would like to see everything when I talk to my clients and I do this assessment over and over. I would like to see most things 7 and above, but it takes some time to kind of get your life in that place sometimes. And if you're there, that's freaking awesome. That's really awesome. But usually it's just a couple of different areas that's out of balance. So next, so if you got all your areas circled, then we're going to move forward. And then we're going to go and look at these areas. Now this is a really deep question. So like if you're watching this and a recording, I want you to stop it. And I forgot to do some deep breathing exercises before we start. I'm sorry. That would be beneficial, but it's too late now. I started already. Okay, so next time, maybe on the podcast, I'll do that. So now we're going to look at those areas below 5, or the 3 lowest areas that you circled. And I'm going to ask you a question. So the question is, out of all of these areas, wait a second, let me catch up in my notes. Okay, here it is. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm in the right spot. Out of those 3 different areas, or anything below 5, which one area, if it was perfect, if it was just everything was perfect in that one area, would have a positive ripple effect on all the other areas? Meaning, which area would change everything? Like if this area was all better, those other areas wouldn't be out of balance. Which one is it? So just, it might not be perfect. Don't expect it to be perfect. Sometimes it is perfect. And I'm going to give you a really easy example to understand in a minute. But there's usually one area that's really, looks like I have like a bad, like, sunburn or something. Looks like I'm underwater, doesn't it? Okay, I can't get past that. All right, so as an example, I'm going to give you an example. So if your 3 lowest areas were fitness, romantic relationships, and social life, you might say to me, Tina, if my fitness was perfect, everything else would be better, because I would feel more confident in myself, and I wouldn't be afraid to go into romantic relationships. And if I felt more confident, my social life would be great, because I would just be going out there all the time and I wouldn't be thinking about what this person thinks or this person thinks. Fitness would make me feel confident, which would change everything. It would just throw everything back into balance. Okay, so that's a perfect example of 3 areas that are out of balance. And that one area, this is super simplified. It's usually not that simple, but I'm just using it as an example. Okay. So the next step after you get that one area, so I want you to pick one area that's just total foobar. Okay. Okay. And foobar means fucked up beyond all recognition. If you don't know that, that's definitely a generational comment that shows my age, but that's what that means. Okay. So, so pick that, pick the one area. So we're going to get that one area. And now I'm going to tell you, we're going to focus on writing your core value statement for that one area. Okay. So this is so that you can start focusing on the one area that will change everything. That's going to just knock everything back into equilibrium. And while I say this, I also want to stress the fact that a state of balance is not a fixed state. And what I mean by that, some people will say, I don't believe in balance, balance doesn't exist. And I think that that is true to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is you don't just reach a state of balance and then you stay there. This person doesn't fix their fitness and then all of a sudden everything's balanced and then they just can just like sit back and be like, okay, now I'm just gonna cruise, right? That's not how it works. So you have to continuously check in with yourself and then push things back into balance constantly. It's a constant, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and you have to want to feel in flow. And if you've ever been in flow in your life and things have been working out really good, it's a freaking good feeling, right? And most people say, oh, well, that doesn't last. And that's probably true. But you can really create that more in your life if you check in with yourself and you look at these things on a regular basis. And that's what this is for. And that's why we need to do this to know what our starting point is. Like we know where we stand in every area. And now we're going to write our core values in every area. And we're going to know exactly how we feel, how we want to feel. We know exactly where we're starting and we know how we want to feel. And then the next step after this, which I'm not going to do today, is really starting to dream big and look at our goals and seeing how to make our life that magical life that we want to create. And if you think that that's a bunch of bullshit, then you probably shouldn't be on this live because it's not bullshit. You can have whatever you want. You're the creator of your own life. And if you don't believe that, then it will not happen for you. I hope that you could like stay with me and learn how to step into that, like know that you can really have all of these things that you dream about, and it's never too late, it's never too early. But this is just that first little baby step. This is just one small step and a step of many that I'm going to go through in this Get Unstuck series to help you move into that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is set out our core value statement. So I'm going to just stick with the example of the fitness. Okay, let me just finish this. Woo! That is spicy and my throat is a little sore from my allergies. So, okay, so let's get started. So we have our core value statement. So before we get started, I do want to cover this. So you need these core values. What do you need these core value statements for? So you really need to check in with yourself and every once in a while in order to know that you're being really intentional with your time to move you towards these core value statements, because it's very easy for us to bounce back into old behaviors of just getting on that hamster wheel and going through the motions of life. So in order to keep yourself on track, you need to have these core value statements. You need to know what's really true to you and what's going to move you towards your dreams and your goals and the life that you want. Your dreams and goals are going to be different from everybody else's. My dreams and goals might be completely different and it might be a total turn off to you. Your dreams and goals could be simple or they could be super elaborate. There's no judgment here, like to what your dreams and goals are. And as a matter of fact, nobody has to know what your dreams and goals are. Although I would hope that have the type of friendships and relationships that you can share these things with the people that you love. And if you don't, as you change, as you move into this new version of yourself that's completely aligned with their core values, Sometimes people will drop in and out of your life. It'll just naturally happen. Because when you're really aligned with your core values, and maybe you haven't been before, some of the people in your life might not like it too much. I talked about that in my I think it was last week's blog post and podcast episode, how to handle difficult relationships and move forward. Um, a lot of times when we change and we start kind of getting more aligned with ourselves and what we want, that might not include that person and they might not be able to change with you. So, people come in and out of our lives for sometimes for a moment, sometimes for a lifetime. But my advice to you is to always look at those people as, what did they give to me? What did I give to them? Maybe it's time for it to end and just move forward. So this could be, if you haven't listened to that podcast episode, go back and listen to that. If this is something that scares you, so a lot of people don't want to change because of this. So your need to, live into your dreams and your purpose needs to be stronger than that need to make other people happy. It needs to be stronger than that fear of losing maybe some of the people in your life. But I'll tell you, if you lose people in your life because you're being yourself, then it's the best thing that ever happened to you. And it's going to create space for the right, more aligned people, friends, partners to come into your life. And that is a fact, okay? And it will be better. So, another thing that's important to know is that when you're going into your core values, um, these need to be your values. In order for them to like feed into your dreams and your goals, right? These need to be your values. So, it's not going to be about what society expects of you. What's the norm in society? Let's just like let go of that because who decided that that was the norm in the first place? Like, nobody. I want to be in charge of my life. I want to be in charge of my life. So, excuse my French, but fuck that. Society's norms are changing, okay? And society's norms are bullshit. What's norm is you. Like, who are you meant to be in this lifetime? That's what you need to step into. Who are you meant to be? Not what society expects. Some of the greatest people did not step into society's norms. Most of them were called crazy or, um, I don't know, crazy, really. That's all I could think of. Most of them were crazy. Or just like, I'm not sure who said this, maybe Eleanor Roosevelt. I think she has such great quotes. But something like no well-behaved woman ever made history. That's so true. It's like, so just like try to let go of the bullshit rules of society, or as Vishen Lakhiani would say, rules. He calls them rules, bullshit rules. So we need to like let go of that. Okay. Also, we're not living up to our parents' expectations, our partners. Stepping out of what your partner knows as you is really scary, especially if you spent a lifetime with this person. So it could be really scary to like start thinking about different values than yet you've had before. Um, but like I said, definitely listen to last week's podcast because I talk about how to bring that up and what surprises, pleasant surprises, could happen when you do this kind of work. So, not what your partner expects, not what society expects, not what your parents expect, not what your kids expect, not what your friends expect, your coworkers, any of these people. Bleh, tune it out, erase it. I'm not saying you don't care about these people. I'm saying these are your core values, and if you really want to work towards those fantastical, beautiful fantasy type dreams, and you want to bring this into your life, and you want to share this with your loved ones and your friends and your family and your kids, then you have to really honor your soul aligned core values, right? So let go of all that bullshit before you start doing this. All right, now we're going to move into that one area. Okay, I'm trying to find the questions that I ask because I want to try to keep wording them the same way every time I share them with people. And yes, I wrote out my core values and I need to do it again. I'm going to do my new set of core values in the new year. I'm going to be doing like a new year, oh my God, what did I call it? Kind of like a reset. Like, you'll hear about it when I decide to do it. I'm going to do some kind of a workshop or something like that. Okay, so we're talking about fitness here. We're going to write core values for our fictitious person that wants to improve their fitness so that they can improve their whole life. And so she's going to answer these questions. And so I'm going to go through this with you. So question number one, and this is what you're going to ask yourself for your area. When it comes to fitness or whatever area you have, what is most important to me? Okay. So this person might write to be strong, energized, balanced, and to look great. Right? That's what's important. Question number two. When it comes to fitness, how do you want to feel? So this person might say, I want to feel sexy, beautiful, strong. I want to have the energy to handle anything that comes my way. Okay? And then the last question, number three. Why is this important to you? Example. I want to enjoy my life. I want to live fully. Right now, I don't have the energy and I don't feel confident in my body. So I feel like I can't move forward. I feel stuck. I feel like I can't move forward until I feel better. Okay. So that might be what she says. Okay. So we're going to put that all together, all the answers, and we're going to put it into a core value statement. Okay. So we're going to take the answers from question number 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to put them all together in one statement. We're going to try to consolidate it so it's not like this long, drawn out paragraph. Although if that's what you need to do, then freaking do it. Okay? You could always shorten it another time. Okay? So what I wrote out for this person is I want to be strong, energized, and balanced in my fitness. This way I can feel sexy, beautiful, and energized, and then I will feel confident in my body and have the energy to handle what life brings me. That's her core value statement. See how simple it could be? And it's powerful. And now she knows that's the direction. So it's not exactly a goal or a dream. This is what she wants. This is what she expects in fitness. Okay? This is her expectation as she moves forward. This is what she's working towards, that feeling. It's more about the feeling than anything. Okay? So I already talked about this being um, yours, not anybody else's expectation. So make sure it's yours.